lone bell rings from somewhere down a crevasse. You make your way down the mountainside and find a metal vessel mostly buried at the bottom. Attached to the top of the vessel and floating without explanation is a red canvas balloon large enough to fit a building inside. A brass bell clangs for your attention.
Hello?
Sounds like someone inside needs your help.
You just get the door?
With a crank, the hatch pops open and a hiss of air passes through.
Thank you.
A stocky quattrel woman crawls out of the hatch.
My aeronautical hit some rough clouds and I couldn't blow my emergency hatch. Been a while. I tell you, that bell was the best investment in this thing. I use it more than the steering wheel.
She looks around.
Was worried I was being rescued by a bunch of lurkers. I'm strictly opposed to being a snack.
She pulls a device from her pocket and scans the horizon.
It's actually a decent hour to get back into the sky. Could I impose on you a bit more to dig out my crash landing in exchange for a ride closer to your destination?
She gestures into the confined space of the aeronautical. You dig out the aeronautical and cram into the restricted interior. The quattrel just barely seals the hatch with you all inside and struggles to start up the machine with the extra weight. It's claustrophobic, but after it gets airborne, much of the terror subsides. The descent is violent, but you arrive in one piece, closer to your destination. Not wishing to brave the harsh, unforgiving waters of the sea, you opt to hike along the coast instead. You trace it for several long hours, eventually arriving at a series of immense fissures that cut deep through the ice cliffs, fjords blocking the way forward. Looking over the side, you can see the sea thrashing far, far below. Staring off into the distance, you spot a line of white jutting across the gap, a bridge. You head for it and discover a series of glittering limbs branching over the fjords. At first, they look to be made of ice, long, pale shapes that arch over the fissures and connect on the other side. But as you move closer, you realize they are made of bone. The ribs of a gargantuan creature that fell here long ago. The sea writhes below as you cross, huge ice-clogged waves crashing against the cliffs. You spare only a glance, but the sheer distance of the fall makes your knees rubbery. When you look back up, you realize that you are not alone on this bridge. Several dozen feet ahead, at the apex of the rib, stands a tall man covered in a cloud of black, thrashing wings.
We will lift your safety far behind, mortal,
He says, not with a human voice, but with the collective shrieks and caws of his many birds.
This place is not meant for your kind.
There is no time to digest the warning. In a flash, the cloud of raptors fly at you, spanning the distance and snatching at you with razor talons. You manage to keep your footing, but a few of the birds have landed on the bridge ahead and are pecking at it feverishly. Their beaks are hard, and surprisingly large chunks of ice and bone break off and fall into the ocean below.
Turn back. Turn back. Or your corpses will be carrion from our brood.
and feathers cover the white bone of the bridge. Just beyond them lies the strange humanoid thing, its body folded awkwardly where it fell. The monster appears almost human from this angle, like a malnourished peasant with long, bony legs and waxy skin. But you're not here to study the fauna, and so you leave the creature where it lies and continue your hike across. Feather and flesh coat the ivory bridge, but the fiends are gone, their wasted bodies fallen into the crashing waters below. The birds that remain caw furiously and retreat westward toward a far distant line of trees. The air grows silent, except for the steady tide, and you give yourselves a moment to think. The northern coast is a madness unique to itself. That such strange things could exist up here at the end of the world stretches your minds to the limits of wonder. What more awaits you beyond these bone bridges, if these are only the outermost ridges of the place? You cross the fjords and see that the coast bends to the north. You can continue following it, hoping to reach wherever the shard of coral is leading you. Or you look back at the western forest. Or you could make a small detour and see what oddities lie hidden in the trees. You have been lucky, luckier than most, to have never spent more than a few nights inside a jailer's cage. Of course, there have been times when your temper's gotten the better of you, when you've indulged more than was wise, but you've never been forced to spend night after night, month after month sleeping on a stone floor with nothing to look forward to but a glimmer of morning light through iron bars. So you can't really fathom what it's like to finally be free from prison, or what a person would do when they finally got out. But you doubt they would do this. Crane Talongear, the Quattril scholar you rescued from the unfettered catacombs, has transformed his previously clean, albeit sparse, room into the cluttered, cramped nest of an academic. Somehow, between last night and this morning, the Quattril has gathered several books and a large stack of parchment, and he's arranged everything on the floor around him like a flimsy mosaic. Behind him is a plate of half-eaten eggs and hard biscuits and several empty teacups. The bed is still made, but the top sheet has been confiscated to sop up a large puddle of ink on the floor. His door is open, and when you knock on the frame, his face lifts into a manic smile.
My stalwart friend.
He bows without getting up.
Come to check on your rescued ward? What chivalry! And perfect timing, I might add. As you can tell, I've managed to get in a full night's work.
Crane tries to pull out a book of notes, but you stop him, asking him about his ominous warning concerning the unfettered.
Oh, yes, them.
Crane waves his hands dismissively.
Certainly a problem. I suppose we are the ones best equipped to intervene. I've had plenty of time to study them, you see, and I'm confident that if you bring me back into their facility to scavenge for some materials, I can create a device that will deactivate the unfettered. But that,
Crane says pointedly, pulling out his book again,
is not the exciting part.
The Quattril clearly wants to move on from those memories, so you take the hint and ask what he's working on.
Friends of yours?
Mayor Sather asks flatly as the alarm bell rings behind you. You're all standing on Frosthaven's wall, looking out on a warband of Orgoks. They look like ice speakers, though not any clan you're familiar with.
That force is too big to repel at the wall.
Sather observes, coldly calculating the odds.
If they attack us all at once, we'll be overwhelmed. I'll have to take a force out and thin their numbers, but
She pauses.
losses will be heavy.
Pinter Droman speaks up from the other side of Sather.
If I may, perhaps we can scare them off. I've been preparing some festive bombs for a town celebration. It was meant to be a surprise, but, you know.
He shrugs.
At any rate, these bombs do no harm, but they do explode in an array of coloured lights.
The Tinkerer says, getting excited.
Perhaps, if we use the bombs, it will frighten the monsters away.
I don't want to bet our lives on a cheap trick.
Sather responds.
If that doesn't work, we'll miss our chance to gain the advantage.
She turns to you.
You've dealt with other ice speakers. Do you think they'll buy it?
You grab an armful of bombs and pass them out as Pinter rubs his hands gleefully. The guards cheer as the Orgox charge panics and breaks under the sudden rain of colourful explosions. Soon, though, the Ice Speakers realize the bombs are toothless and rally for a vicious charge at the wall. The battle-weary Ice Speakers retreat for now, but there are still plenty of them, and you know they'll be back.